Hey, what's up, guys? Today I'm with one of my friends, Carrie, and then Carrie recently came to Japan for school, and I also recently came back to Japan from America because I was going to an American school. So today we are going to discuss the difference between our quarantine experiences. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, like you said, my name is Carrie. I am in Japan. I've been here for about 3 weeks now. I came here on a student visa. This is actually my second time coming to Japan on a student visa, so I can really see the difference between pre-corona and post-corona. It was a lot more difficult and more complicated getting the visa to come here, and the whole process was just a little bit different. So why don't you tell me a little bit about your experience coming back to Japan?
So in my situation, I didn't have to take any tests before riding on an airplane. So I just went to the airport without any preparation and everything was fine. But I was really scared because the coronavirus situation in the United States was really bad, and it was pretty much the first time for me to go to anywhere public where there are a lot of people. And the international flight was not crowded at all, and I was really surprised. And I was sitting in the very back, so it was kind of empty. And after entering in Japan, I had to take a saliva test. And in saliva test, you just spit your saliva into a little container, like a test tube. And then the funniest thing about it was, like, there were pictures of lemon and umeboshi on the wall. I was like, what if you don't even know what umeboshi is? So that was kind of funny. And after that, since I had a ride to my apartment, everything was pretty smooth.
Before I left for Japan, I needed to get a visa. But getting a visa was a little bit more complicated because for a while Japan wasn't issuing visas. So even though I had all the necessary documents, I still couldn't apply for one. Once I was able to get a visa, it was still a little bit extra complicated because in addition to the usual visa documents, I also needed this document, which is called residence track. And basically, it comes from my school and it just certifies that they will make sure that I follow the quarantine regulations and that I won't be spreading corona throughout Japan. Once I did get the visa, the airport was the next challenge. Since I don't have a Japanese passport, I was required to take a PCR test within 72 hours of leaving for Japan. This was quite a challenge because I couldn't really find any doctors who would promise to have results within that time frame, except for one doctor who wanted to charge hundreds of dollars. So what I ended up doing was going to 2 different doctors and getting the test done twice, hoping that at least one of them would come back in time. And luckily, one of them did, so I was able to go to Japan without much problem. The plane was almost totally empty, so I could even lay down. I got to chat with the flight attendants. It was really nice. And yeah, oh yes, once I arrived at the airport, I think our experiences were pretty similar. I did the saliva test. They showed us the lemon and umeboshi as well, so that was really funny.
So I quarantined in Asakusa, Tokyo, but at the same time it was kind of sad because my first day in Tokyo was just to quarantine. And that quarantine wasn't too hard for me. Of course it's quarantine, so I was not allowed to use the public transportation, and also I was not allowed to go to any places where there are a lot of people. But I could still go outside to get food, take a walk, or whatever stuff like that. So when I was sick and tired of being stuck inside, I could just go outside and take a walk around Asakusa. The weird thing was the healthcare center or whatever was supposed to get in touch with me every day to make sure that my health condition is good, if I'm coughing or not and stuff. But when they contacted me for the first time was like 4 or 5 days after I started quarantine. They were probably busy or lazy, I don't know. And then I like updated 4 or 5 days, but after that I kind of became lazy, so I stopped updating them, and everything was totally fine. So I was like, what the point? So my quarantine experience was like that, and then that was not strict at all. But my experience might not be helpful at all because the situation seems to be a lot different right now. So could you tell me about your quarantine experience?
Yeah, so one of the most important things about quarantine is that you can't take public transportation from the airport. So if you are going to Japan, you have to make sure to arrange a ride from the airport to your accommodation. So I was told not to leave my designated accommodation, to contact people as little as possible, and yeah, just don't leave, basically. During that time, I was contacted by the health center twice. They sent me an email just asking me how my condition was, and I replied, and that was it. I was also under the impression that I would have to be updating them every day, but it didn't end up being that way. However, I did have to update my school every day, tell them how my condition was. The actual place I quarantined was a hotel near Narita Airport. I didn't have to worry about public transportation because my school actually booked a shuttle bus for me and the other students that were arriving on that day. They also chose the hotel, so we all had to stay at the same place. It was a very nice hotel, so honestly, although quarantine was a little bit rough, it was still a pretty good experience. As for food, the hotel actually provided 3 bento boxes per day, which was very interesting. So that's an interesting question. It's kind of up to your interpretation. So the instructions I was given said not to leave my designated quarantine area. So I don't know, some people interpreted that as you cannot leave the room. Some people interpreted it as you can't leave the building. And then, some people were still going into like the courtyard and stuff. So just not leaving the premises, or like not leaving the property. So I'm not really sure how to answer that question. I wouldn't mess around with it. If you're at all unsure, I would say just to stay inside. Yeah, so number 1, make sure that you plan everything out. You have to know how you're going to be transported from the airport to your hotel or wherever you're staying. Number 2, make sure you have access to food because, like I said, you can't really go out and buy food. So either be in a hotel that provides food or an Airbnb where you can order Uber Eats or something like that. Just be prepared to be stuck inside for a while. Also, you might want to have something to entertain yourself in case the internet is not great. Bring a book, bring a game, something like that.
Right, I think we pretty much talked about everything, and I hope this video was helpful. And if there's something that we didn't talk about that you want to know, please leave a comment and also let us know. And if you want to see more of Carrie, she has her own channel, and I will put the link in the description, so check it out. Do you want to tell us about it?
Yeah, totally. So my channel is mostly in Japanese. So if you're practicing Japanese, it could be really good for you. You can come, we can practice together. It'll be a lot of fun. And all of my videos have a little fun fact at the end about marine animals. So if you're into that kind of stuff, it might be right up your alley. Also, I'm in an Airbnb right now, so I promise that most of my videos will not have this beautiful gray background. So I hope to see you there.
Alright, I think that's a wrap on this video. Thanks for watching. If you like this type of video, please hit the like button and also consider subscribing. And I see you guys in the next video. Bye.
行により気流を10倍に増幅。遠くにある空気の汚れまでも引き寄せる循環力で部屋全体の空気を清浄。密閉性の高いフィルターがハウスダストやウイルスを捉え、匂い、有害なガスを除去します。パワフルな循環力、部屋全体の空気を清浄。詳しくはダイソン公式サイトへ。瞳を捉えて離さない。恋のカメラテクノロジーはエクスペリプレミアムボディミルクモイスチャー。染み込む染み込む。
角層まで届くプレミアムの浸透保湿。
このツヤ。ニベアプレミアムボディミルクモイスチャーシリーズ。
ではこの時間に入っているニュース、スポーツ、ショービズをまとめて、まずはニュースから。